Okay, well, let's go ahead and bring up our two students from Pasadena Unified. Kaylin John and Millie Root have been doing some really interesting work with 3D printers. Excited to talk with them. They're going to show us through a couple projects that they're working on. Kaylin is one of Miguel's students. He's a senior at Marshall Fundamental. And Millie Root is a middle school student at Marshall as well. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Great. Millie, do you mind starting? Do you want to walk us through your project that you worked on?
So
Millie, we should explain to everyone that you've been doing this in an after-school program. Is that right?
yes.
Great. And tell us this project that you worked on. This is your award-winning project. Is that right? Great.
So I did it when I was in 6th grade. I'm in 7th grade now. So that was last year. My friend and I, Ariana, we were given a task to do something for a science project, do a project for science, and that would be an environmental innovation. And so we started with a problem, and our problem was that birds and bats were being killed in the turbine with a wind turbine. And so we created a product called the Flyaway that would put out a sound that would drive the birds and bats away, so they would be less endangered in the environment.
Interesting. And how long did this take you to work on?
A couple weeks or so, just the printing and the board and the ideas all collaborating together.
How many different versions of your project did you come up with as you were working on it?
I think we did about 3, one of which is on the board right here, just so it can show. So we did one that was a really smaller than the one on the board prototype, and then we went back onto the software and made adjustments, and so then we came out with the final product, which is this.
Great, that's so interesting. And Kaylin, when I spoke with you, you were talking, one thing that really interested me about speaking with you was you said 5 years from now, school districts are going to be looking to Pasadena Unified and trying to catch up. Can you talk about that a little bit? That was an interesting idea.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think that 3D printers jumping on early. I mean, Mr. Almena talks about it all the time. It's something it's new, so it's not something and jumping on early. I think we're forming a model that other school districts can look to, and we've made mistakes that other school districts can learn from and do it even better than we have. For example, we learned that you always should teach the teachers about the printers before you actually give them the printers. Because
What do you mean by that?
Because
Tell us more.
Well, I was figuring it out during that time.
well, no, it's a genuine mistake. I mean, what happens is you come up against this awesome technology and everyone's super excited about it, but the teachers are so used to doing things their own way, with the whiteboard and teaching in a certain way, and then all of a sudden getting this new technology, and it's a little bit scary. And I think that introducing them, saying, look what you can do with this. There's so much possibility here. Really opens doors for being able to innovate in the classroom, going all the way down to elementary students and all the way up to college level classes.
And Millie, you're doing this as an after-school program. Give us a sense of how many kids are interested. What is the interest level in 3D printing?
I think if people actually know about it, then they'll be interested, but not many kids in my grade know about it and just mainly me and my friends know and go after school. So if kids are educated about it and know about it, then I think they'll grow, then the interest in it will grow.
Right, and this is the first year your district is doing this. Kaylin, can you tell us about your prosthetic project you're working on?
Yes. So as Mr. Almena talked about earlier, we actually worked with a local company called Aesthetic Prosthetic, which is across the street from us. And we're actually in the advanced graphic design class. There are a few kids in the back who are part of the advanced graphic design class. And basically, this is the second year class, where the first year we learned principles of design. And then the second year was more, now let's apply it. And so the first project of the year was they came to us with a client, and the client, when they went to the beach, they put their prosthetic in the ground, in the beach, in the sand, and it left kind of a mechanical imprint. And the client wanted to leave a human footprint because they wanted to feel more normal, more accepted. And so they came to us and they said, okay, well, we don't want to design an entirely new prosthetic because the prosthetic we have, we like and the client likes, but we want something that they can attach to the prosthetic that will enable them to leave a footprint. And so, as Mr. Almena said, that kind of opens your eyes. For the first time ever, we were working with an outside client, and we were actually doing real world management skills. We were working with them, and we were high school students. And this is what's so awesome, is actually getting to work with real companies as a high school student. It's not a class anymore. I mean, you're not learning. You're doing the work yourself. You're actually there doing the work, which is really valuable. And so actually, this is actually my design, and they were really interested in it. And it's kind of kicked off, and it's become really really popular. And actually, we're pursuing a patent on it right now. And so basically, the design is you can actually slide on different portions, different bottoms to your prosthetic leg. And so this opened doors. Not only did we answer the problem that they can now leave a footprint in the sand, they can feel more accepted, they can feel more like the rest of us. But these people can now open doors that we don't have. You can put all sorts of different slides on the bottom that, really opens doors and allows, and so my class, once they heard about this, I heard a lot of different feedback, that kids started getting really excited, well, what, we could do this. And I think just the excitement generated about it was really awesome.
Did you ever imagine that you'd be doing that at the high school level? It sounds like something you'd be doing in a career that you'd be happy to have.
No, and it's interesting because I'm definitely a math and science guy, and so coming in, I took Mr. Almenda's graphic design class last year, and the sad thing was I viewed it as an arts requirement. I said, hey, I just need to get this for the UCs. I need to get my arts requirement out of the way, and then I'm done, and that was sad. But then I kind of got excited. I said, wow, this is not what I thought it was going to be, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it kind of opened my eyes. And so this year, especially working with outside companies, and it's not just an arts class. It's integrating both math and science and getting kids excited about it, which I think is so powerful. And one thing that we've talked about, creating it, what the safety issues, all of the things, the process going into it. But I think something for our levels of students, something for our age that's extremely powerful is that feeling after we printed this, and you just get to say, I made this. And that's something that's extremely powerful, and I think really opens the eyes of lots of students. And I'm excited to see that this is going to extend down to elementary school students and college level stuff. I mean, we're actually working right now on designing mathematics lessons using 3D printer technology so that students who perhaps are left out with the visual learning or the audio learning can now get the kinesthetic learning, hands-on learning that they never had before. And so we're starting off with algebra. We're working with fractions and the coordinate plane, x, y, and z axis, which is directly applicable to 3D printing. And we're taking this all the way up to calculus, which is, I'm a big calculus guy, where we're actually rotating functions around an axis, which is awesome. And then you can take it up to the even higher level, which we haven't quite dabbled in yet, but multivariable calculus. You're working with organic shapes and all these slopes and things like that. And I'm getting all geeked out now.
You're way ahead of us. I'm so excited. This is awesome.
Yes.
But it definitely has potential, and I think I think opening the eyes of students and being able to say, all said and done, it's awesome, but being able to say I made this is truly a phenomenal experience.
Miguel, do you have other students who kind of come in, not by force, of course, but, for a requirement that get hooked like this?
Yes, and that's where it gets. That's what really amazes me is, and also, by the way, just going back to Kalen, I don't remember calculus, so as a footnote, Kalen had to show me calculus. So he has taught me how to do calculus. So I want to highlight that because as a teacher, you got to be open to that, right? Like if you're going to start introducing these tools, you have to be open for the student to teach you. And that's going to take a lot for a teacher to kind of accept. So I just want to say that, like, I don't know anything about calculus, but I do know what I know because Kalen showed me. So
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And he does a great job too.